Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be going over the new tech that is in Toyota's new off-roaders. We're going to be focusing on the crawl control and the multi-terrain select, but I'm basically going to show you guys how to use this new system because it is a very confusing system, especially compared to more simplistic off-roaders. But once you know how to use this system, it makes these modern Toyotas extremely capable off-road. Let's get right into it. Now I'm going to be using my new 250 Land Cruiser to demonstrate everything. This has Toyota's newest crawl control system. It's got multi-terrain select, and it even has a center and a rear locking differential. But the biggest thing is it's got the new computer tech. First thing, in a lot of the modern Toyotas, they've doubled down on the controls. So a little mode select controls both the drive mode select, the multi-terrain select, and the crawl control in the Land Cruiser, for example. The drive modes are straight modes, but I'll quickly show them. You've got Sport, Normal, and Eco, and so that's what the dial's shifting through now. Now that I pressed MTS, it goes through the MTS modes. Now I'm in the four-wheel drive high, so we have dirt, sand, mud, deep snow, and auto in the four-wheel drive high MTS. I put it in four-wheel drive low, and you'll notice that I can no longer go into the regular drive mode select now. And then when it comes to the MTS, you notice that we have fewer MTS modes. We have auto, sand, mud, and rock mode that we can go between. Now we are back in four-wheel drive high, and you do not have access to crawl control in four-wheel drive high, just hill descent. But if, again, I twist the mode dial, I can change the speed with the hill descent control. But yeah, crawl control is not available in four-wheel drive high. However, in four-wheel drive low that we now are in, you can see that it looks completely different because it's the crawl control system. So basically it's only a hill descent in four-wheel drive high. In four-wheel drive low, it is a hill climb / hill descent system, aka crawl control. Now, if you're a little bit confused at this point, that's completely understandable because with the previous version of this system, you could only use it in four-wheel drive low. Now they allow you to use it in four-wheel drive high and in four-wheel drive low, which just complicates things. So let me show you guys some real-world off-roading and show you what you're going to use and when. So I am currently in four-wheel drive high with the center differential unlocked, and I am just in MTS auto. Now you guys can see this little trail that I'm going down, and you notice the speed that I am going down the trail at. You know, I would say anything above 15 miles an hour, and this is probably what you should be using with the 250 Land Cruiser. Now, depending on the terrain will also change things. So again, we have dirt, sand, mud, and deep snow. So if you're gonna be going quicker and the terrain describes any of those, then just pop it into that mode. Or if you're on something that's pretty easy like this, where this is, I mean, it's not perfectly graded, but you know, it's relatively graded dirt roads, just stick in auto. And so the four-wheel drive high has basically been built out to do most of the off-roading that you're gonna be going through. Again, the trail running. Now, in the past, right, you would be in four-wheel drive low to go through something like this that's kind of like more middle speed, is a way that I would put it, because you would have use of all 8 gears. What I found, at least with the 250 Land Cruiser, and I want to test out more of the new Toyotas to figure out if this is the same with them, but the 250 only goes up to 4th gear in four-wheel drive low, which means that you're very limited in terms of your speed in four-wheel drive low. Whereas in four-wheel drive high, you have use of all 8 gears, because this one has an 8-speed, and so you're able to go quicker. And so I think that the way that Toyota is looking at this is this new generation of Toyota has so much low-end torque with the turbo engines, with the hybrids, that the four-wheel drive low can do this, or not the four-wheel drive low, the four-wheel drive high rather can do this stuff just fine. And so what they're really doing is they're just making it so the traction brake system can still work in four-wheel drive high while you're doing this stuff where, again, this isn't crawling. So why would you be in low range for that? So this is kind of like a practical application to use the multi-terrain select and four-wheel drive high as most of the, what I will call in-between trails off-roading. So if you're not rock crawling, you're most likely gonna be in four-wheel drive high. Besides this point that Toyota intends you to be using four-wheel drive high quite often off-road, you can have the center diff locked in four-wheel drive high. You can also use the stabilizer bar disconnect in four-wheel drive high. So like, if you're in a situation like this where I'm kind of a little bit articulated and I want to have a little bit more articulation in the front end, I can quickly use a stabilizer bar disconnect in four-wheel drive high instead of having to go into four-wheel drive low, disconnect the stabilizer bar, go through it, and then go back into four-wheel drive high for the rest of the trail. So Toyota really does intend you to, again, you can use center diff lock too, really intends you to use four-wheel drive high for actually most of your off-roading. Now you might be wondering where you're going to use four-wheel drive low. Steep climbs, I'd say anything above 20 degrees, you're probably going to want to be in four-wheel drive low. And then if you're going to be under 10 miles an hour for a long duration of time, again, four-wheel drive low, so you're not burning out the transmission. Now, I also want to demonstrate the multi-terrain system. So I'm in four-wheel drive low, and I just have it in auto right now, no center diff locked. You notice the traction control system's working. This is a 33-degree incline. And you'll see that it's actually doing it just fine, even without the center diff locked, no rear diff locked or anything like that. Now we might have to have a little bit of intervention here at the top, but you notice with the torque delivery in four-wheel drive low, there's a traction control system working a little bit again. It's able to get through it just fine. Now again, that was a 33-degree incline. The little hill coming down here is now, I think, like a probably 15-degree. So that hill coming good, so going up that hill, I'd be in four-wheel drive high. The 33, right? You're in four-wheel drive low for that. Now that's just an auto, and so you can see there's a little bit of traction control intervention, but not a crazy amount. Now, just for continuity's sake, let's try sand, and let's see if it performs any differently up the same hill. So again, this is going to be all computer, no mechanical. Where's my camera? Just gotta make sure I have this lined up correctly. Yeah, you can tell the sand mode, yeah, it's using it a little bit more. The sand mode wants to spin more. So you can see that wasn't actually as smooth in the sand mode, which makes sense. Again, we're doing a rocky climb with this for the whole test, but with that sand mode, it's going to be emphasizing wheel spin. Now let's pop it into mud, which is probably still going to allow for a decent amount of spin. The rock mode is the least amount of spin. And if you're wondering, the reason why I'm not using the center diff or the rear diff is I want this to be all computer. Okay, so now we are in, sorry, let me adjust the GoPro. Rock mode here. Or not rock mode, mud mode. And I didn't air down either. So just consistent, less slip than sand. I would say. So it's not pushing you to have as much wheel spin as sand mode. And then finally we'll finish it off with rock mode. And this isn't gonna come through because you guys can't feel what I'm feeling, but what I can feel is I just have this consistent push with auto mode, and then with mud mode. With sand mode, I had to kind of just, you guys kind of saw, I had to go into the throttle a little bit more. And the wheels weren't necessarily spinning, it's just how the computer's programmed with the power too. It's not just, you know, clamping on the brake caliper, it's also how the throttle response is. Okay, so this is rock, so this is the least amount of slip. See, traction control system's working. The traction control system is the most aggressive in the rock mode. So it's blinking the most often, so it's intervening the most. Now, why would you want that? Well, if you're rock crawling, you want the traction control system to intervene more often so that you have the least amount of slip, so you have the most amount of progress. Versus like in mud, yeah, if the traction control system's biting all the time, you're gonna sink. Same thing in sand. So you guys can see how the programming changes, not just how the brake, how often the traction control system is intervening, but it also impacts how aggressive the throttle response is as well. Now you're going to be wondering about crawl control, right? So we're going to do crawl control in all of the drive modes. Right now we are in auto, and I'm actually going to turn up the speed. See, this crawl control system's actually pretty, I mean, I'm almost at the top speed, and that's about how quick I was going, just under my own power. And this is actually why I personally don't use crawl control all that often. And I'll tell you at the end of this where I think you should use crawl control. But you can see really smooth in auto. Again, the computer's doing everything at that point once you put crawl control on. And so it's really trying to minimize slip. It's going for maximum control, at least in auto, right? We'll see what the mud and the sand do, because those are supposed to allow for a little bit more slip with the drive modes. And that's what I'd say, you know, if you're confused as to what mode you should use, again, just ask yourself, how much slip do you want? How much wheel braking do you want? Okay, so we're gonna go to sand. And you guys notice, once you get used to this, by the way, it's pretty, like, this stuff is pretty easy to use. It just takes a second, but it becomes second nature in terms of switching between the drive modes, turning crawl control on or off, and all of that. I mean, hopefully I'm demonstrating it well to show you guys that you get used to it. And it's pulling me to that side a little bit. So you can see the traction control system was way more aggressive. That time around. So putting it in that sand mode, again, where it's allowing for more slip, well, because it's allowing for more slip in the sand mode, the system's going to be intervening a little bit more when you have the crawl control activated. Now we're in mud mode this time around. And I will say, it is quite impressive how well this handles steep inclines. It is very impressive. The traction control light's still blinking. I think it might have glitched out on me. What the? So I don't have crawl control. It didn't fully turn it off. I pressed the button to turn it off. That's a glitch. That's a glitch. I turned it off. I swear. No, I didn't. Never mind, that was user error. I pressed the MTS button instead of pressing the crawl control button, so I didn't exit out of it. Anyways, we're in mud mode. So you can see less intervention than sand, because it's allowing for less wheel slip with the computer program, with the throttle and everything. Okay, so now, okay, that turns off. So just use your air. And that's something is, you know, you got to get used to it. Okay, now we're rock mode. Now this one with crawl control should have the most aggressive computer programming, I imagine. We'll see. But it should be up there, that's for sure. This is a fun little loop, I will say. This is a fun little loop to kind of test out these fancy computers. And boom, I didn't even press my foot on the brake. I just went straight, I just pressed the crawl control button and I'm straight into it. And the car took a second, but now it's, are you gonna go forward? There we go. It took a second. It's kind of deciding what it's gonna do. And I just did speed number 4 with all of them to make it equal. And I feel like that's the appropriate speed for this anyways, to yep, it's reacting. I would say it's reacting quicker. you can feel it kind of. I'm sliding less than when I was in the sand mode. I definitely slid the most. So you can tell it's clamping down quicker to really maintain the most amount of control possible. Let's quickly recap everything that we've learned in today's video. So first off, if you're above 20 miles an hour, for sure four-wheel drive high. You're probably gonna be in four-wheel drive high, even if you're above just 10 miles per hour. Multi-terrain select is available. Hill descent control is available. Center locking diff is available if you have a center locking diff. And the stabilizer bar disconnect is also available in four-wheel drive high. They intend you to use four-wheel drive high quite a bit off-road. And again, it's very easy to shift between the two because you've got this little lever here in the Land Cruiser. The Tacomas and the 4Runners have a little dial that's very quick to twist. Again, neutral, and you can shift. And the transfer case is very quick to shift over. So you're going to be shifting between four-wheel drive high and low. The time you're going to be in four-wheel drive low is if you're on a steep grade. Even if you're going above 10 miles an hour on a steep grade, you want that torque multiplication. So you're going to be in four-wheel drive low. If you're rock crawling, again, just slower speeds, you're going to be in four-wheel drive low. And in terms of the multi-terrain select and crawl control, here's kind of my 2 cents on this. Just look at the system as an increase of the amount of braking that you're going to be getting from the system. If you want things to be really smooth, if you want a lot of braking, you have it in rock mode. If you want things to be a little bit more wishy-washy, I guess is what we'll say, if you want less intervention, right, you're going to put it in the sand mode. And so just depending on how much intervention you want will determine the mode that you put it in. And I think they're labeled pretty accurately to the conditions, right? Sand, you're going to want more slip versus rock crawling. You're going to want a lot less slip, so you can have more control in that case. Now, when it comes to crawl control, here's my 2 cents on crawl control. I see crawl control as a bit of recovery gear, if I'm being honest. I never use the crawl control system when I take my Toyotas off-road, unless there's a circumstance where I feel like I'm about to get stuck or I'm just not quite comfortable with going through it by myself. That's where it is. It kind of look at it as like a crutch / an extra piece of recovery gear, right? When you go off-roading, you know, you bring an air compressor so that you can air down your tires, you can get a little bit more grip, you know, traction boards, you know, these new, not all the new Toyotas, but most of the new Toyotas have recovery points so you can get yanked out if you need. So, you know, a shovel, like that type of recovery gear, the crawl control system's kind of like an added layer to that. So if there's a really steep hill where you're not comfortable with going down or up, yeah, you just turn on the crawl control system, let it work it out. It'll help build your confidence. But then if you get bogged down in a mud pit or something, it's not for sure going to be able to get you out, but the crawl control system can do some pretty crazy stuff. And so it's kind of like a crutch. So that's kind of the way that I look at it. Let me know if you guys want me to kind of dive into more detail on any of these systems, but I hope that this will help you out with understanding how these modern Toyotas work. And I hope this shows you these modern Toyotas are incredibly capable off-road. Like, this is more capability than 99% of people actually need.